What's up, guys? It's Neff. This is my rant video again. Today we're going to be going over Yeezy Supplies Yeezy Day. Or as I should say, Adidas's Yeezy Day. Since they seem to be the ones that were in charge of the whole damn thing. So obviously, this drop didn't go as planned for a lot of people that day, but some of you guys still took some W's, and hey, congrats. Today's video also is brought to you by some of the proxies that I used during this drop. Porter proxies from Tiana, kick-ass proxies, Petty from Osmo, Petty proxies, covert proxies from Noob Salute. Yeah. And then also Sugar proxies. They are in no way affiliated with Trickle. But I used all of them. They worked fantastic. Just wanted to give a huge shout out to those to those guys. They really helped me with my success for Yeezys today. So anyway, let's get started. So as you can see, I got a little live cop going on the side over here. This was the 4 instances that I was running for Yeezy Day. This was, I believe, I don't remember which drop this was. I want to say it was the MX Carbons, I believe it was. So anyway, hope you guys like my YouTube friendly music in the background also. Hopefully it's not too loud. Anyway, let's get into it. So again, like I said, this drop didn't go as planned for a lot of people. You know, shit happens. I'm sure most of you guys saw that tweet or reply DM or whatever it was. I don't remember. I didn't really take a look at it too much. From Kanye. Supposedly that is actually real. But you know, hey, I guess none of us will actually know. But yeah, anyway, as it seems, Adidas kind of did the whole Yeezy Day thing behind Kanye's back. It wasn't something that he originally wanted to do, and if it was going to be done, it was going to be done in a different way. So yeah, we got to see Adidas kind of cater more towards the manual users, which, I mean, that's an L for us, but at the end of the day, y'all got to remember that what we do is, I guess you could say, kind of unethical or whatever. At the end of the day, a lot of these manual users want the stuff to get into their hands, and a lot of these companies like Adidas, Nike, Yeezy Supply, all of them, they want the shoes to go into the hands of the manual users. So, you know, if you guys ended up copying some with the confirmed app, congrats. I myself hit, what did I get? I got 2 pairs of Turtle Doves. I got 6 pairs of the MX Carbons. I got 12 total pairs of the Onyx Foam Runners. One of them was on confirmed at the end of the night. I got 2 pairs of the Red Stripes and a pair of the Rots or whatever the hell they are. Foam Runners. And then I also caught me a personal pair of Blue Tints because I forgot to grab a pair last time they dropped. So, but yeah. So what went wrong on this drop? To be honest with you, nothing. The problem that we had this day for this was the fact that we had a bunch of just, I don't want to say good drops, because they aren't good drops, a lot of them that dropped on Yeezy Supply. I mean, if you owned a sneaker store or something like that, yeah, they were a nice drop for you because you were able to, you know, stock up on some stuff. But not everybody owns a damn sneaker shop. Most of us are just, you know, copping to resell ourselves, like myself. So what happened was they started off the day with a trash ass drop, those utility blacks. You know, I used to be kind of a fan of the look of the 450s, but as I look more and more and more at them, I realize that they look like utter just garbage. Then they started firing off the day with like 5 more bricks off and on of Yeezy Supply and confirmed. It seemed like They were trying to screw us over. You guys all felt it. We all saw it. Okay. It seemed like the good shoes were the ones that were dropping on the confirmed app. Oh, I forgot to say, I also hit a pair of those soot slides on the confirmed app as well. I think that's what they were called, soot or something. So I actually happened to find the link for them before they had actually got posted in like any of the cook groups that I was in or anything like that, or even on the little live YouTube video or whatever it was that was showing like the drops as they were coming up. But yeah, it was kind of funny actually, because I was just reading through the Onyx Foam Runner thing, and I saw a read more button. I was like, oh, okay, and I clicked it, and up came the slides. I was like, oh shit. So I was able to get into that queue real early on those. I don't know if they were first come first serve or a draw, but it was pretty quick that I was able to get them. So anyway, Dave kept moving on. We were just getting bricks after bricks after bricks, or just lunch money shoes, you know, stuff like that. I myself was running a lot of ACO for mine. Actually, not a lot. I was only running about 200 people ish or whatever this time. But you know, I told all the people that I was running ACO on, I said, hey, I am not running for anything unless it is 100% actual profit for you after you pay my pass fee. So, you know, if you see something dropping and you're like, oh, we want, you know, I want those, sorry, I'm either running everybody or nobody kind of thing. So I actually didn't run any Yeezy supply stuff until the foam runners at the end of the day. I pretty much just chilled on the confirmed app most of the day. I was sitting in front of my computer, sitting in the notify chat, sitting in my server, talking with Shaba and all of them through DMs. Was just kind of minding my own business, doing my own thing. Wife went and got me some food, thank God. I didn't want to miss something, but yeah. I mean, anyway, Yeezy supply. We'll just skip right ahead to the end of the Yeezy supply day itself. So basically, what ended up happening was MX Carbons dropped. The problem with that drop was, number one, they enabled the text code / email codes. As you can see on my screen right now, I got a bunch of the text codes popped up. You know, those are all random numbers because I jig every damn number that I have. But for this drop, so let me rephrase that actually. They had actually enabled it for the previous drop. Before that, text codes got turned on. I don't remember what shoe it was. I think it was a 350 that had dropped. Text codes had gotten turned on. And we noticed. So we kind of pushed out a ping in the Trickle server to let everybody know, hey, be prepared for this. Then the MX Carbons dropped, and of course, immediately, as you can see, starting to get hit with whatchamacallit? With I was brain fart what the hell I was gonna say. Oh, with text codes and stuff like that. So yeah, you can see my 3DS popping up right there. So this is proof right here, just so you guys know that TradeShift does work, okay? Now, I recommend using TradeShift for yourself, but right there was a TradeShift pop-up. All right? I use American Express, TradeShift, virtual credit cards. A little pop-up comes up. I just make sure I have my phone open the entire time. And when a code comes in, toss in the code. So I got 0 declines that I know of this drop. I actually don't remember. Oh, no, I lied. There's a fail right there. I think that was actually, that wasn't a fraud decline. That was something else, if I remember right. I'm not entirely sure, but I know it wasn't a fraud decline. I didn't get a single fraud decline this drop. So I don't know if that was like an Okapi one or if it was something else. But anyway, sorry, I'm pacing back and forth in my room trying to think of things to recap. So anyway, the texting codes got enabled. Now, originally their system, you could basically enter in any code. As long as that code was generated on their site and sent to somebody at some point, you could use the code. It worked. It did work for this drop. Not the next drop, though. Okay? So basically, they hadn't cranked up the security. They had turned on the security to slow us down, but they had not enforced the security, if that makes sense. So you realistically could have put any damn code in there as long as it was generated on their end, and it would have worked. This was for the MX Carbons. Now, this drop was a pretty short drop. I think it lasted all of 30 minutes, and that was with the problems that were going on. If they didn't have the texting codes and stuff on there, I feel like this drop probably would have lasted all of 5-10 minutes. So, yeah, keep that in mind. So, at the end of this drop, like I said, I dubbed, I think, six. I got 6 total checkouts for the MX Carbons. Managed to hit my own size 11, which is nice. I was hoping to get a pair of those. I really like them. So, yeah. Anyway, moving forward, let's get over to the Onyx drop, because this is the one where most people had problems. So, Onyxes started dropping. Now, I want you to keep in mind the same thing that I have actually made a snippet for, a whole ass macro for tickets, okay? The Onyx drop should not be a measurement of success for you, okay? Do not judge Trickle, Valor, Mech, Prism, Wrath, any of these bots on that Onyx drop. And the reason why is because, number one, that stock was extremely limited, okay? I personally, myself, believe that was not a restock. That was a, or let me rephrase that, a remanufactured pair. That was a restock of pairs that had been sent back or that got canceled or for whatever reason. It was basically leftover stock. That drop lasted all of like 10 minutes or something like that. On top of that, what they did was they actually turned on the security to actually enforce the texting codes. So that means that if you got a text code and you put it in and it wasn't the correct code, you would have gotten an error. So keep that in mind, okay? This should not be a measurement of your success at all. We did not realize that the texting codes were being enforced until very shortly after. We did say something about it, I believe, in the live updates channel or the Yeezy Day channel. I'm not really sure which channel it was. But as soon as we saw it, we let you guys know. Yeah. I mean, other than that, with the Onyx firmware drop, really, don't use that as a measurement of success. Don't think of that as a like, oh my god, I was passing splash so many times and I didn't get through. I couldn't get a checkout or anything like that. No, don't use that as a success measurement at all. Okay, even I had problems with that drop. The only reason I got through was just because I had my email and my phone open right there, and I was monitoring for codes, and I was matching codes with phone numbers and emails. I was quick about it, so it's the only reason I got through. So, anyway, let's go over some problems that people had on Yeezy Day, okay? One of them being, some of you guys were getting, you guys were getting issues with a lot of fake passes. Now, one of the things I can tell you guys about fake passes in my experience is usually that has to do with, basically what's happening on a fake pass, from my understanding, okay? I'm not a developer, so please do not take what I say as 100% literal, okay? Some of the devs can probably clear this up for me unless I nail it. But for basically what's going on is your Gmails are solving the CAPTCHAs that are presented to them, which is the invisible one-clicks in the background, okay? It's testing your Gmail to see if it has human activity on it, so it can pass that. Now, if you are at the lower end of the threshold of a one-click Gmail, then you might not have enough human activity, if that makes sense. So some of this can be because the proxy that is associated with it has a high fraud score on it. I'm not going to tell you guys where to test your fraud scores, but there are websites that you can test your fraud scores, that you can test your fraud scores on for proxies. The other thing that it can be also is that maybe the Gmail itself is just burned out. It could also be that the Gmail is not human enough, you know, because you got to remember that a .9 score doesn't mean shit, okay? That you got to remember that it goes from 0.1 all the way up to 0.9, I believe, and after that, there is still technically higher tiers of 0.9. Now, AYCD, Kylan, Tycho, all of them don't have units of measurement to measure that type of stuff, other than, oh, it's a .9, and oh, it's a one-click as well. The little grade rating that you see on the side where it says like F and all that crap, I personally don't pay attention to that. I have Gmails that are grade F that work just fine to get through sometimes. I mean, I don't have a lot of Gmails right now, just because, I mean, I've been still working on them, farming more of them. So, but, I mean, honestly, oh, okay, yeah, there's the 6 checkouts on there. I mean, honestly, when it comes to fake passes, keep in mind that you're gonna get a bunch no matter what. Okay, you can see me right there. I have way more fake passes than I do regular queue passes. Okay, what matters though is that you are still passing the queue. Now, if you get past the queue, that means that it solved the CAPTCHA and that it has given you permission to move on to the next page. If you get a fake pass, it's going to possibly give you like an access denied page, or it's going to give you like a timeout error or something like that a lot of the times, or it's going to just queue loop you and put you back in the queue again. When you get past the queue, though, here is how to determine if you have good proxies or not. Are you able to cart? Okay. You see I have a bunch of carts right here for the MX Carbons. I got, what, 8, and another 8. Okay. So 8, and 8. What is that, 24? So I got 24 carts right now. That means that the proxies that I was running were doing kick-ass, all right? Here's the rule of thumb when it comes to Yeezy supply. Passing splash is Gmails. Fake splash, or fake queue passes is Gmail proxies a lot of times, or the Gmail itself is burnt out. Carting is proxies. Checking out is proxies and profiles. Okay? So, if you're having trouble with any of them, you'll be able to narrow it down right there. All right? That'll tell you what's going on. All right? If you're passing a bunch, but you're not carting anything, then you know that your proxies are dog shit. All right? If you know that you are not passing splash at all, then it means that your Gmails are dog shit. If it means, or if you are carting but you're not checking out, now that one is a tricky one because it can be a multitude of things. It can be proxies still. It can be your profiles have errors in them. It can also be that you're getting cart jacked, or it could just be that the item is out of stock. Okay, or the site is down or something. So, when it comes to failed checkouts, a lot of you guys were asking me questions about this over on Notify. Failed checkouts are very, very simple. Okay, there are a bunch of different failed checkouts that you can get. You can get a fraud decline, which means that usually that you're jigging too hard, or that you failed your 3DS on it or something. Okay. You can also get a fraud refusal for basket, which usually means that there's a problem with your profile. It's a bad card, okay? It could be the card is banned. It could be the card is flagged. It could be one of those things. You can get an Okapi time exception, I think is what it's called, which means that the payment processor for Yeezy Supply itself is down. You can get a hook internal error, which means that the actual website itself is having issues. You can also just get an unknown error for a fraud decline. Unknown means that the website itself is down as well. Okay? So, that's how you narrow down your fraud declines. All right? Now, if you notice, out of those like 6 fraud declines that I just told you right there, only 2 of them are actually user error. User problems. I mean, technically all of them are user error because we're flooding the damn site. But only 2 of them are user error on your end. So, all right, moving to the next subject. Gonna kind of try to wrap this up a little bit here. So I don't know if you guys can see if you're able to pause the screen to see. You can probably see how many tasks I was running here. I ran 4 instances, all right? Now, I think you guys had some additional ones or something like that. I think monthlies and renewals had 5 and weeklies had 2 or something like that. I don't know. I'm a little lazy. I don't feel like setting up a bunch of extra instances. I just did whatever the cap was that I was allowed to do with AWS, if I remember right. So, yeah. 4 instances. I ran just shy of 2,500 tasks on each one. I think it was at like 20. I want to say it's like 2390 or something like that on each one. So what was it? Just shy of 10,000 or 9,000 total tasks. I think it was at like 8,000 something or 9,000. I don't know. We'll do the math. Yeah. I mean, you know, some of you guys were running 10,000 tasks on all 5 instances, and you guys didn't even get a single checkout for this MX Carbon drop. You know, this is one of the reasons why I tell you guys all the time I say it. Just because you can run 10,000 tasks doesn't mean that you have to run 10,000 tasks, all right? You should be focusing on quality over quantity. Make sure that your resources are good enough to get you through, okay, at the beginning. Now, again, this is not a drop that I would measure my success on, but for instance, the last drop that just happened, the slides, I hit exactly at the mark that I tell people they should be hitting, okay? I'm a firm believer in, you know, you can scale up when you are hitting, in my opinion, roughly 10 checkouts per 1,000 tasks, okay? That is a good number with the amount of traffic that hits the site and stuff now. That is a good number gauge to say, all right, I know that my resources are doing okay. I can scale up a little bit now, okay? Because if you scale up from 1,000, 10 checkouts to 1,000 tasks, so a 10-to-1 ratio, if you scale up to a 20,000 task, you should theoretically be somewhere in the 200 checkout area. Okay. So like I said, keep that in mind with this stuff. I mean, you know, I told you how to determine if your resources are good or not. Like I said, passing splash is Gmails, carding is proxies, checking out is proxies and profiles, or the site going down. Okay. So narrow it down. What is wrong? What are you having problems with? Okay. You can open up a ticket in the Trickle Discord if you want. Ask us questions, but we're gonna tell you the same thing. All right. We're gonna tell you the exact same thing that I'm telling you in this video right now. The one thing that I will tell you is that we personally are not going to recommend any proxy providers to you guys. Even the proxies that I said at the beginning, they worked well for me. But something that I love telling people all the time when I do my one-on-ones with people over in Notify or over in my server is, just because something works for me doesn't mean that it's going to work for you, okay? Another one of my favorite things to say is loyalty rewards success. A lot of you guys are hopping around to, excuse me, all these different proxy companies. You're in 50 Discord servers for 50 different companies, and you're dabbling into each different one. That's fine. You can do that. But the thing is that you need to remember that loyalty is going to reward you with success. When you stick around to proxy companies, bots, proxy companies, cook groups, anything like that, and they see that you are not just a transient person, you are here to plant your roots and stay. When things come along that they want to pick out some members to maybe test some new product that they have, or gift them something, or potentially offer a sponsorship or something like that, they're going to look at their members that have been there for a while, not the members that just joined the group today. So just keep that in mind. All of this is a business. Proxy companies themselves are a business. I mean, it's no secret. These proxy companies are reselling proxies from bigger companies like AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, Spectrum, what is it, like Bright Data or something like that. All these different companies they are reselling from, but they buy in bulk. They're spending $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 because that's the minimum that you have to spend to purchase these ranges, and then they are reselling them to you. Now, the owners and the staff of the group usually take the best stuff for themselves. Then they give the next best stuff to some of their friends or to their sponsors. Then they sell what's left to the rest of their members. Call it unfair, that's fine. But they're the ones that invested, $10, $20, $30, $40,000 to start up a proxy company. If you want to be able to do that, start your own proxy company. Okay? So, Gmails, Gmail providers. I'm personally using an API right here. Tiana was nice enough to help me out a little bit. I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of the stuff that I was doing on Yeezy Day without her. But Gmails are the same thing. Make sure that you're getting them from a provider that you trust. Remember that there are people that are they're just tossing 1,000 Gmails in one damn list and just making 20 API keys on this thing and just renting out that same shit to everyone. You know what I mean? So those 1,000 Gmails are burn up quick. So just keep that in mind. Again. So anyway, that's I think that's about it. The drop's about over on the video. I'm not getting any more checkouts. So, but yep, actually stopping it now. So, if y'all got any questions, feel free to DM whenever you want. You can also open up a ticket. You can also tag or ask in chat. Please do not tag all of the DM support staff. If you have a specific question for a specific staff member, feel free to tag them, but try to keep it civil, alright guys? Anyway, this is Neff from Trickle. On to the next one. Alright, let's get some W's. Talk to you guys later. Bye.